Hi, my name is Mark Walker. I'm the editorial director at the FinTech Times, and we're here with Seamless TV.
Thank you for hosting me today, Mark.
You're most welcome. So let's start off with a little bit of a chat about BPC. So what's the ethos of the company? What products and services are you supplying?
Sure. So, Mark, basically, BPC is a global technology enabling company. We are present in basically the 5 continents as we speak today. We have over 23 offices and growing. We have an excellent presence in the Middle East in terms of our delivery hubs. And what do I mean by that is that everything basically the client needs in terms of fast to market and the availability of a call away is very near. So we have almost like 4 delivery hubs. We have one in the major priority countries like, let's say, Egypt. We have one in UAE. We have one in Africa. And we have one in Pakistan, which is also a very lively market, a very dynamic market. And we are planning basically to open one in Saudi. Okay, very soon we have an office in Saudi. So as we say, if you're not near the eyes, you're not near the heart. And we want to be basically with such a dynamic region, having basically our delivery hubs. So as a BBC, basically we offer technology enablement for all the digital transformation needs of payments. So you can call us a one-stop shop, everything that you need for the back-end system in terms of acquiring, issuing, instant payment solutions. So with one relationship, basically we can deliver all your digital transformation needs for the next years to come in terms of, the phases approach.
Okay, fantastic. That's really interesting. I guess, as you say, having your eyes on what's going on gives you a unique perspective in the region to answer what sort of trends you're sort of seeing in the payment space. What are the sort of the new trends of consumers or businesses that you're seeing?
Well, we see fintechs has been basically growing dramatically over the last period. Initially, I think when fintechs came into the picture, basically to tap into the areas which is the financial institution doesn't want to get themselves into. That is the mass, where the mass cash handling is there. To come up with small ideas that basically the bank is too big to handle them. So this is where the fintechs comes in. Initially, the banks were seeing fintechs as a competitor. Okay, but nowadays the trend is that banks sees fintechs as the ideal ambassador for basically reaching out for the mass cash handling area. And that, of course, helps central banks, helps the government to minimize cash circulations, hence for reducing the cost of operations of cash handling circulations, which is quite heavy on some of the countries here in the Middle East. So definitely fintechs plays a very important pivotal role to help with the visionary citing of these central banks to minimize cash significantly. I will talk about what's happening, for example, in Saudi a couple of years ago. They had a split of 30% electronic digital payments, 70% cash handling. Nowadays, it's around 80% in just a short period. And the other trend that I see, the main success stories of improving digitizations in many of the leading countries like UAE, Saudi, is basically the collaboration of the central banks to put mandates. We say one hand doesn't clap, you have to have 2 hands to clap. So working in isolation, fintechs and a bank doesn't really help. It has to have the support of central bank and the regulators. And in Saudi and UAE these regulators has been heavily involved. And this is where the success formula comes from. So this is the second trend. We see a lot of regulators are putting their hands in to support the digital transformation journey of these fintechs, help them with their challenges, facilitate basically either regulations that helps them to fast track, and basically help them with any challenges that comes in terms of offering them the right licensing regulations and so on. Needless to mention, companies like us, the technology enabling companies, there's a trend of facilitating the right needs for these fintechs. For example, what does the fintech want? He wants basically fast to market. He wants a seamless solutions. He has very limited number of staff in order for them to handle, and he wants to focus purely on the acquisition of new business, new market share. BBC have built the right strategy for these fintechs. So what we do is we build everything on the cloud for them. So it's purely a plug and play. So within 1 month, you can start your issuing, you can start your mobile wallet, at a very, very low period. You don't have to invest much. So we offer very minimum subscription model, okay, to make sure that they don't start heavy on their financial statement. And from fast to market, of course, we offer them basically the speed within 1 month to get the product up and running into the market. Moreover, we also offer our scalability and reliability, that they can rely on us, okay, in terms of making sure that the system is up and running and everything is going smooth for them.
Wonderful. And obviously, given your remit and your role across the whole of the GCC and into sort of North Africa, etc., what differences do you see between sort of the fintechs in, say, Africa and Egypt compared to the UAE and Saudi?
Well, again, it falls back into the collaborations with the whole ecosystems, the main ecosystem owners. So when you talk about the ecosystem, what I see is the difference between Saudi and UAE versus the other countries that you mentioned. Like, I wouldn't say Egypt. I think Egypt is following the same foot track, okay, of what UAE and Saudi have done to get, which is basically getting the regulators' help to issue new mandates to allow PSPs to get the licenses, not only banks. As I said, banks have different market share strategy. It's totally different. They want to go for the niche, the big money, but there's the mass, which you don't want to get their hands in. This is where the PSP. So licensing PSPs is very important. Also allowing the schemes also play a very pivotal role. So now they have also introduced the BIN sponsorship. So some of the PSPs cannot get the license from central bank. And if they don't have a license, they cannot get a BIN sponsorship to issuing or acquiring. So schemes also played a very pivotal role, like Visa. They get BIN sponsorship through other entities. I'll give you, for example, Zand is a perfect example in UAE. They want to facilitate fintech open banking facility where they can offer them the BIN sponsorship, which is at a very minimum cost, and they have nothing to do with getting the central bank licensing. So that helps them with fast to market, help them with the convenience to start up with a low investment. And that's a perfect landscape that Saudi and UAE have built here. I think this success story is being replicated in other markets. I see Egypt is doing the same. And I think that's the main success stories of getting these fintechs up and running. And I think also in terms of programs that the government have built, like we are, for example, BBC is part of the FDI program for the foreign Ministry of Trade of UAE, which basically attracts both companies such as us, global companies, that can help to fast track the digitizations with the right expertise, and also invest in the local economy by bringing the right talent. I think UAE and Saudi is striving to make sure that they have the best talents of technology. And this is where such programs also helps and assist, with the whole ecosystem. So it's not a one solution that basically resolves the problem. It's the collaboration of different stakeholders in the ecosystem that really helps to make it a success story, where UAE and Saudi is on that same track.
Fantastic. And my final question, obviously we're here at Seamless Middle East. What's been your most favorite thing about the show so far?
It's the diversification. You see everybody coming from a different world. So there is a number of tick of the boxes that I think everybody benefits here. One is that you're always busy throughout the whole year. This is the only chance where you meet clients that you miss to see them maybe once in a year. I think that's one of the good things to fence around basically the human relationship touch. The second thing is, I think, bringing the world in one-stop shop place. gives you an opportunity where you can exchange of ideas of what's happening in the other regions. I don't travel to Europe, but Europe comes to me because I can see people coming here in this exhibition to facilitate that shared knowledge and best practices. Last but not least, I think it's an opportunity for our customers, be it central banks or be it um, uh, banking institutions or fintechs, to come and see what's new in the industry and get them more choices and options to see that they're not limited only to a certain segments of technology enablement. There's much more that you can open your horizon, and that creates a very healthy competition into the market. And this is what we are all striving to do.
Lovely. Thank you so much for joining me here on Seamless TV, powered by the FinTech Times.
Thank you so much.